You talked after last game about needing to get better on defense to go where you want to go
Yeah.
this year. How hard is that to do late in the season to fix something that big, at this point in the season, and how do you go about it?
See 2020, spring.
I remember that one.
Yeah, we went to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So you just have to stay relentless, keep teaching. You got to stay relentless in your pursuit as a staff of ideas that'll help your team. Stay oblivious to what other people think, which, and make sure your team does. And continue to coach and just, stay relentless in every way in your pursuit of getting better.
Part of the success that year was maximizing effort and energy on every
That's
every
always
play.
part of any defense. Just, ask Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis. I mean, any time you're talking about defense, effort matters, toughness matters.
The roster.
But strategy's a part too now.
Yeah, of course.
The big thing in coaching is, at some point, you got to figure out what somebody can't do. And and just because this is the way you like to do it, if he can't do it, you continue to ask him, and he can't. That's bad coaching. You got to try to change your strategy. So it's not all just effort and energy.
So are there things you have to overcome with limitations? I mean,
Well, every team has
Yeah.
those, for sure.
yeah. I mean,
The question is who has mistake erasers, and who has less holes.
does this team have enough athleticism to be a high-level defense? Do you think?
Again, you're talking to a guy that we're 9-4 in the Big Ten, and Sky Clark's played 2.5 games. So the guy's our best defender by light years.
Yeah, right.
There's people. I know coaches like Brian Dutcher and Dave Velasquez. Okay, guys are big time coaches now. We scrimmaged now, and he cramped up, didn't play the last 7-8 minutes. We talk, try to help each other get better, especially our staffs. They literally had their team watch a Sky Clark edit. That's one of the best coached defensive teams over the last 10 years. Is showing an edit of Sky Clark's defense to their team on how not to get screened, on what effort is. Aside from the fact guys shoot 50% from three most of the year.
Yeah.
So, it limits, I can only ask Donnie and Trent to pressure the ball and be so active when I also have to ask them not to foul. Strategy.
How is the zone defense, do you think?
What zone defense?
The zone defense that you employ occasionally?
Oh, I don't know. We just play defense, my friend. But go ahead, you got any more?
Yeah, no, I was just asking about how that
Yeah,
is.
we may line up differently sometimes, but again, strategy, trying to do different things. In Washington game, obviously, we really, in both games, we proved we can't guard Hans Steinbeck. So we tried to do different things so they wouldn't throw him the ball.
Transitioning from
Is that a
Steinbeck.
good answer for you?
Yeah, that was good enough.
All right.
You're going up against another big front line on Saturday. Three guys 6'9" or taller.
Yeah, it's life in the Big Ten, buddy.
Yeah.
Like I've told Yogi, all these agents are in town. I guess it's all-star games here.
Yeah.
I'm oblivious, more concerned with can I take the Bookster out for a walk today? Hopefully it's not raining. He hates when he doesn't get a walk. But I'm dead serious though. His happiness is, it's way up there on my care list. Find me the biggest, nastiest vodka drinking Eastern European you can. That's what I tell Yogi. He's meeting with all these agents from all over the world are coming in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just find some guy that used to like wrestle bears in Lithuania or something. The Big Ten is no joke, buddy.
Yeah.
Everybody's big.
Yeah.
Everybody's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, almost. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, people, it's just every game you play.
Yeah. Obviously, Adai is part of that front line. What do you think it'd be like to go up against him again?
Another game, buddy. It's life in the portal. If you were to like when you ask me about stuff like that, I'll give you an honest answer. The only game that would bring about any emotion for me, it'd be really hard for me, is if I had to coach against Cincinnati. Life in the portal, man.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'll tell you what, you want to bring up like emotion of former players. I love Will McClendon. He's got off to a great start at North Texas in his last year and tore his ACL again. I don't know if you guys know that.
I didn't know that.
I'm talking about early at Oregon State. I actually was sitting at home late at night watching Will. He was playing great. Last play of the game, he tore his ACL. But he'll get another year. He'll get more NIL. But I actually talked to him a few days after that. I just checking on him. He's just the greatest guy ever. But no, I'm worried about Michigan, my friend.
What else? What challenges does Michigan present for you?
Analytically, their defense is dominant. They give up, I think, 36% from the field, 29% from the three-point line. So it's hard to score on them. You know, they're very deep. So they have 4 guys that would start for most teams in the country. Kason, McKinley, Cheddar is a super veteran Cheddar. And Roddy Gale, who started at Ohio State, started at Michigan. You know, so, that's pretty, McKinley's an unbelievable freshman. You know, so their bench allows them to play very aggressive for 40 minutes on the defensive end and sustain an intensity of ball pressure and physicality. They don't have to worry about fouling.
When you're scouting.
That's a big advantage as far as imposing your will and your physicality out there, back to defense and effort. You don't have to worry about. You never have to play a tired player, and your players can stay aggressive and not worry if they get called for fouls when they're being aggressive. You can bring that for 40 minutes. That, to me, that's the best thing they do.
When you're scouting them and watching Adai, is he playing differently, or is he doing the same thing he did here?
Tough to say. I'm scouting Michigan. I'm not scouting Adai, my friend. You know, he's older. You'd have to ask Dusty Mace for stuff like that. I don't see him every day, so.
Well, what you have seen, have you liked what he's playing, it seems like he's playing at a high level.
That would be your opinion. You know, obviously you better not let him catch it and dunk it. He's probably not going to miss that. He's always been a good passer.
You guys have been good at cutting down the turnovers recently. How important is that against a team like Michigan?
Huge. Because it's so hard to shoot a high percentage. Any team it's hard to shoot a high percentage against. Illinois. But last night, if you look at the stats, look at Wisconsin, had like 14 more shots than Illinois, maybe 15. Because they only turned it over 3 times. That's how you win on the road. Cannot turn the ball over. Because they'll convert it too, because they're so talented. And in my opinion, Yaxel, when I watch him play, he shouldn't be he's a professional player playing college basketball. Professional body. He plays with pro pace, meaning he's never rushed. He doesn't do wild things. At 6'9", whatever he is, 230, 240. He is a professional player playing college basketball. You give him in transition, he's a freight train. He makes great decisions. They can actually play him at point if they want, and they do at times. He's a tough cover. He's really good, but you got to take care of the ball, especially on the road.
How can having more days to prepare for a team help you?
2 things. 1, we needed rest. 2, hope to get Sky enough practices in a row without any setbacks that he can play. Those would be the biggest 2 things. As far as my assistants work ahead, you know, so for instance, if you had the last game, Ben's already working on the next game. But when you have these kind of weeks this late in the season, you need them. But just strategy-wise, we'll spend. It gives you a time. For me, it gives us a time to spend some time on ourselves. Like we're not going to spend 4 days on your opponent, Tuesday through Friday. You know, it gives you some time to get to where you don't have to just put all your practice time into preparation. You can put some practice time, which is rare this time of year, into what you need to do to be more efficient.
We might not see you again before Michigan State. So what does that mean to coach?
You're gonna miss me.
Definitely. What will that mean to coach again, Izzo again?
Oh well, Coach Izzo, in my opinion, is the best ambassador going for college basketball. And the fact that he respects me enough to take my calls and become friends with me means a lot to me. It's like a milestone in my career. I'm really hoping that I'm not totally miserable on Sunday, nor is he, because we both tend to get that way, and he'll buy me dinner. That's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, he's a great coach. Obviously, I've coached against him before, but probably haven't even thought about playing them, to be honest with you. I have thought about trying to talk him into buying me some dinner, but I'm also liable to be in a state of mental health that I need a lot of help on Sunday too. It's 50-50 on that.
Sky, you're talking about Sky. Is there
Yeah.
a chance he plays against Michigan?
Yeah, he's been getting some practice, but he's got to stack practices.
Okay. How long has he been stacking?
He hasn't been stacking. That's the problem.
Okay.
He hasn't been stacking. Hopefully he can stack 4 in a row in.
Okay.
But when you practice, you're sore, you're out. But there's been a system of trying to get him to this week, where he would have a whole week to get ready for a game. It's kind of been a thought for a couple weeks.
Did he have a setback along the way in his recovery?
Nah, he's just I'm not going to reveal the extent. He had a bad hamstring injury, guys.
Yeah.
It was real.
Yeah.
What they would term grade 1, I guess. For me, grade 1 is a steak race at Santa Anita, but I'm not a trainer. For me, the Kentucky Derby's a grade 1 event. I don't, they start talking and I just want to know, is he out or not?
Going back to just the challenges of playing a front line like Michigan.
Yeah.
As far as playing physical without fouling, right?
Yeah.
How hard is that to do, and how much of it's just
It's not
like
hard.
the opening minutes of just gauging how
To quote my friend and former colleague George Jackson from Cincinnati, you got to play legal physical. It's easy to grab, it's easy to chop. Real men bang with their bodies, give up their bodies. It's not hard, technically speaking, but you got to be willing to, some people like contact, some don't. So you got to be legal physical, which requires playing with your body, not grabbing and holding. It's easy to grab and hold. I always say it's easy to foul, it's hard to defend. So it just depends who you are. That being said, challenges of playing a team, in my opinion, their perimeter defense is what sets them apart. That's my opinion. Like, I watch Cadeau's ball pressure. Because they have the bench, they can pressure the ball, foul, be physical, and if they get fouls, they have Kayson and McKinney are just as good as Burnett and Cadeau. And I don't know anybody in the country that has that. To me, that's what separates them.
How would you assess what you've gotten between Xavier and Jamerson this year? And especially recently, it seems like Xavier's obviously on the upside.
We're a different team when we got to get production out of the 5 spot. We've got to get it. So whether it's defense and rebounding or, both gives us shot making that stretches the floor. We can't come up empty there. Not when you're playing at the highest level.
Yeah.
Coach, we're just past the 50th anniversary of UCLA's dynasty.
Which one dynasty?
Basketball dynasty.
Well,
Is there
50. I don't know what year is it. What year?
Well,
What year you're
a couple
talking?
years ago.
So it's
75. Yeah.
Well, that started before 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not. Whatever. I got to go to practice. So.
Well, the question is, given today's NCAA and NIL and portal, is there any chance that
No.
the team could ever?
You know the answer. Why are you asking questions? You know the
They
answer.
told me to ask.
They told you to ask. They sent you with.
Yeah.
Who? I
Oh,
want to
you
know.
got him.
On what channel? I can't see what channel you're from.
Channel 2. Nah,
Did-
we'd
Uh,
love to hear your take.
I was gonna say Jim Hill didn't sing, nor did Jamie Maggio. So, yeah, no, those days are over, my friend. You know, hell, back then you had guys for 3 or 4 years because they didn't play as a freshman, and Coach Wooden's dynasty era. Now, kidding me? You know, somebody said, my dad's in town for a week, and he's like, this guy's going to be back, and talking about next year. Like, how do you know that? Everybody's a free agent. Everybody. So, I'm the only one under contract for next year. Which some people may be happy with, and some people may not. But I am. All right, guys, I got to
Thank
go to
you.
practice.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Coach.